This week on Xenomania, join us as we travel to Woodsboro, where we catch up with our old friend Ghostface and his newest round of victims, and find out how we feel about a satire becoming the thing that it satirizes, and how much we enjoyed some of the performances in Scream 5. This is Xenomania.
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
In there too. Like that's the game in my top 5 are like almost 2 pages themselves.
Your notes are ridiculous.
That's acceptable.
Absolutely. All my notes are just like stream of consciousness remind me of what happened blow by blow.
But the thing is it's basically a requel, right? It's a remake sequel, the combination of the legacy character, something that they've in Hollywood have been doing with horror films, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw. So you knew Scream was going to jump on the bandwagon, especially after the fourth one.
Yeah,
pulling in all that money.
Yeah.
You just want to pull in all that yummy Scream money.
Yeah. I mean, to quote Nietzsche, paraphrase him and his, beware if you chase monsters of becoming the monster. Beware when satirizing slasher movies that you don't become what you're satirizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Scream franchise became that really quick anyway.
I feel like it became like that for 3 because like it was a little more comedy. You have the Jay and Silent Bob cameo, which was a favor from Wes Craven to Kevin Smith, because I think Kevin Smith did something for Wes Craven. You got all that, and then the fourth one tries to go serious, but it's.
But if you're satirizing slashers, you've already become the satire when you go to part 2.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the whole like slasher trope is that, oh, here's part 1, now it's part 2, and like they say, with a higher body count, like so.
Yeah.
And no one is safe, and so it very quickly becomes that. It doesn't diminish that Scream 2 is a good slasher.
Thank you.
But then 3 and 4 are kind of I understand there's some nostalgia for 4 because of Wes Craven and whatever, but it's
his last film. It was his last film, and they got Kevin Williamson back.
What a stinker to go out on, am I right, guys out there?
He definitely could have gone out on better.
Agreed. You got muted while you were trying to defend Scream 4. The script software muted you.
That was the universe saying
disco lights here.
It's the universe saying do not. I don't think the fourth one is bad. I feel like over time it's gotten better, but the fifth one does blow it out of the water. Like especially with the beginning. I mean, the beginning is the same thing we've seen in every Scream movie, but they flip it. Not because Jenna Ortega's in it. It's more brutal, and it's modern. They're using texting, they're using cell phones. I mean, in the opening, she hangs up the phone. You're expecting her to answer, and she's like, nope, not doing it, unknown number. And it's like, all right, Tara, who Jenna Ortega plays, is making the right move. And then it goes Ori quickly because she thinks that's her mom's new boyfriend from some meeting, which she goes along with it knowing that it's all BS anyway, which was her first mistake. I would say that in that scene.
Yeah, I mean, the first scene works. Like the Scream 5, I'm just going to give you a little spoiler of how I feel about it. Scream 5 worked for me mostly. There's one part I'm sure we're going to get to that pisses me off to no end because we have talked about movies deserving to do something, like deserving to kill an animal, deserving to kill a child. Like they earned that capital with an audience. Scream 5 does not earn what it does.
Officer Doofy.
I'm talking about Dewey. Scream 5 did not earn that death.
Yeah, agreed. It's Sanctus Saint. He's like one of the most beloved characters of the franchise.
Yeah.
Would you have taken Gale Weathers over that?
I would have taken anybody over that. I would have
No,
taken
I mean,
Sidney.
Mother Teresa
it-
over that.
if you were going to bring back legacy cast members, you either cameo them or you can't kill them all. How can you say you're honoring Craven and Williamson and kill off one of the most popular characters in the franchise?
It's a chance, right? It's a
And
chance.
really because he's being an idiot.
Well, it's
Yeah.
kind of his thing.
Like
yes.
he's safely in the elevator. And while it doesn't come into play in that moment, he's been around enough to know that there are two ghost faces because there's always two of them. So he doesn't even know that going back in, he's not running into the second one.
True.
It's like, nah, he dies being stupid, and it's not a death that Scream 5 earned.
So you don't think he like kind of gave up on life at that point? Because like you see him when we first get reintroduced to Dewey, like he's all like depressed and stuff, and he's trying to keep that positivity up. But like, how I interpret it,
No, I think he's rejuvenated. Like he doesn't want to be involved in another Ghostface situation, but he's rejuvenated by it almost immediately. He kicks Sam out of the house and like, oh, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna help. And like, he texts Sidney and he texts Gale, or he calls Sidney and he texts Gale. But you can see in those moments, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is my purpose. Hunting Ghostface is my purpose. And he's back. Like, I think this rejuvenates him. I don't think you had to kill him.
I do agree. It's like killing Reggie in Phantasm. You just can't do it.
Yeah. I would have the same reaction.
Well, that's a totally, I almost feel like a totally different conversation. But I think what the problem is with me with regard to the franchise is what would kill Reggie in Phantasm? We know the tall man would kill Reggie in Phantasm.
Women.
Women being
Robotic.
cosplayed, or tall man cosplaying as women.
Yeah.
But tall man would kill Reggie. In Scream, Ghostface isn't the same person. So there's like varying levels of cred with regard to whoever is Ghostface in whichever movie edition we're seeing, like whichever number. So the two twits that are Ghostface to get this stupid stab credibility up, or whatever the heck the excuse was. I don't even remember. It's so stupid. That's what kills Dewey? No. I don't know. It makes me mad.
Their motive is that the Stab franchise stopped being slashers and became elevated horror, and now they want to give it a story to bring it back to its true slasher roots.
And so they shall.
Which, I mean, look, I get the elevated horror stuff. I hate that phrase. It's horror, it's not horror. We added some thrilling moments and some character development to call it elevated horror, but it's a horror movie. The Witch is a horror movie, not elevated horror. It's just a horror movie.
I mean, they mentioned the Babadook, they mentioned Hereditary films. I feel like that have more of a high, like we're saying, high elevated thrill.
They're crapping on the type of horror movies I like.
Wow. Yeah,
I like
don't
the
agree with
erudite ones. I like the oh yeah, I know you don't. Well, your net is way bigger than mine. You like a lot of different things. You're a huge fan of slashers, big fan of really bad body horror like Bring Her Back.
Necrophilia.
I think you like that movie. Yeah, that's just what you do on Saturday. But no, that's why I always defer to you guys. I mean, I will say I defer to John usually first because you're like the vault. And John and Ryan, you're right behind him. Like you guys just know everything, but you really do enjoy such a wide swath. When I see movies like this, it's like fun time. It's the ball pit at Burger King. There's not a lot to it. You roll around, you get germs, you're having a great time. This one was better than the other Scream movies because I remember the Scream movies really starting to suck. I'm assuming 4 was the last one I saw before 5, but it was like a million years ago.
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah, I mean that was like 12 national crises ago. who knows when. I don't even know how old I was. I could have been in preschool or I could have been 27. I don't even know anymore.
I mean, listen, I feel like
you
it's
don't have
been
to do
12.
The math. I know how old I was, Ryan.
It's been like 12 national crises since the last time we recorded an episode.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, true.
How's everybody's portfolio looking? Tax returns looking good? Mine's not. Something happened. There's been a change.
Jumped.
Yeah, usually
Oil
the number's
went up.
green. Usually it's a four-digit green number. This year it's a 4-digit gray number. Things are great. We're doing fine.
Yeah.
Doing fine.
I wonder if I can write off my movie purchasing.
Probably not. Based on what shenanigans I tried tonight, trying to find deductions everywhere. No, probably not. Because we don't have a capital gain. Well, whatever. So back to the less scary thing. Scream 5. So what do you guys think about Jenna Ortega leading the charge on this one, though? Do you think she's part of what carries this movie to a higher level than Scream 4?
Yes.
She works. I like her. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like her as an actress, too.
It's different because, like, you see her, like, if you're going back to Scream 4 real quick, and it shows that, like, the whole universe, the stab movies have gained progress, and there's so many of them. With this one, sorry, to rewind real quick. With the Scream 4, you know that they're going to die. With Scream 5, you're in that, like, is she going to die? Is she not? Because the screen goes black after that final stab. And to quote John, if you don't see a death on screen, that doesn't mean they're dead or not.
Yeah.
So when you see that, so you see that and you're like, okay, this is already changing because you don't see the death in the beginning. And then you're like, oh, she's in the hospital because we get introduced to Sam, her half-sister, and she's living far off from her because of past occurrences in their family life, and she's kind of the badass. I do like Sam. I think she was a great protagonist, comparable to Sidney, but more with a badass edge instead of Sidney being like the Jamie Lee Curtis, like, final girl, and then building up. Sam right there is already a badass, which I liked.
Yeah, Sidney is like pure innocent in Scream in the first one, and Sam at this point is, I don't even know if I'd go quite to badass so much as troubled and jaded and disturbed.
Okay.
She knows truths about her past that are troubling, that that she is Billy Loomis's daughter.
I love that too.
I think that's a nice touch, and I like she has visions of her father talking to her and sort of encouraging her towards not positive behavior.
Yep.
And she's dating the son of Hollywood royalty in this movie.
Randy Quaid.
Jack Quaid is, I believe,
Bitter's full.
Jack is Dennis's son.
Dennis Quaid, sorry.
Dennis Quaid slowly morphed into Randy Quaid.
Yeah,
pay attention.
Which means that Jack probably will too. But for now, outside of this, where he's kind of like geeky, he's sort of blossomed into like a fairly handsome leading man type in action stuff.
Yeah,
they do a nice job casting this. We get another Hollywood offspring. The return of Mason Gooding, who's becoming a regular on this show.
What else has Mason Gooding been in for the first time listeners?
Hard Eyes.
Yes, which you should listen to next.
A very similar character, I think. Like maybe not as like smarmy, like charming in Scream 5, but it's a very similar character type. And he and Mindy are Randy Meeks' niece and nephew.
Which I love that
they keep tying things together into, you get cameos which you don't even know you're getting until you look at credits. Like there's a clip of Stab 5 or Stab 8 rather, with Ghostface with a flamethrower. That's Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
that's cool.
You have the scene at the party where they're toasting the the character Wes, who died, and all the voices are like, you get Matthew Lillard in there, you have Drew Barrymore's voice, Jamie Kennedy. It's all those voices are Scream movie veterans.
That's awesome.
And it's sort of designed to serve as a tribute to the character, but they also named the character Wes. So that scene is also a tribute to Wes Craven. It's, you know, reuniting his people to one last time, I guess.
This is why John has 17 pages of notes right here. He just went through the family trees and all that. That was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch that I wouldn't have known about if I hadn't dug into this a little more. And if we weren't doing this show, I wouldn't have bothered to look that up.
It's pretty cool because it's a nice nod to a legend, a director, horror legend. And I like that because when I watch it now, you hear to Wes, but now go into detail. I want to watch that scene again to see if I can pick those voices out. I do wish they asked Johnny Depp. I know he's not a Scream alumni, but Wes got his start. And I know they had a good friendship, so that would have been pretty cool.
That would have been neat. This is like Cokehead days, Johnny Depp, though. We're Captain Jack Sparrow, Ghostface would have been kind of neat. Hey, we got a game this week.
Of course, we have a game this week.
It's game time.
Ooh.
It's Stash or Slash.
As it should be for a Scream movie.
And you know what? I'm gonna give you the topic because it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna be as easy as you think it's gonna be. It's David Arquette movies.
Oh, sweet! All right, Eight-Legged Freaks, stash it.
Yep. That's the first one.
What's the name of the girl that's in that and Sliders? I'm stashing this. This is one of my favorite movies.
Who was he in The Outsiders? Charm.
The ugly one.
He's a small. I don't believe he's even on the cover. He was like 12 or 13 when he was in this.
He was like one of their. Is he a greaser or a soch?
I don't remember.
Damn.
I had the character name somewhere, but I can't find it. Ryan,
Matt Dillon.
Stashing or slashing?
This is hard because this is a good movie. I remember this from middle school. But Eight-Legged Freaks, you might have Ready to Rumble on here. That was the movie, by the way, Ready to Rumble. You might have that on there. There's so many good.
How many are there? 8? You picked 8?
8. Yeah, you know what?
We have to do.
Hold on. No, I'm gonna make it 3 and 5.
No. Oh, so we keep 5. Okay, cool.
No.
Nope.
Keep 3.
Stash 3 / 5.
I damn it. I'm still keeping The Outsiders.
I'm slashing it.
I'll
slash The Outsiders.
Might not.
You know what though?
Eight-Legged Freaks, dude.
Johnny
Boy
recommend.
Tried to save everybody in that fire, and he died. And you're gonna slash this film?
Yeah, Rumblefish. That's all I'm going to say.
Dota Popinski should be in this movie. What is her name? Cherry Cola is the love
Cherry
interest.
Cola. Yep, Cherry Cola, and
every dude in the universe watched this movie and was like, "Man, I'd love to meet Cherry Cola by that chain link fence."
Such I'm thinking of the ending and stuff, and the book. The book is. Read the book first.
I like that the one Soch pulled out a knife during the brawl, and they all gang beat him because he broke the rules. That was like my favorite part of the book. Honor among thieves, kind of thing. All right, anyway, enough of The Outsiders.
All right, so you each have. Ryan has a slash and Kearns has a stash.
He slashed this Ford Coppola movie. What a loser!
Oh, hold on, Graceland.
3,000 Miles to Graceland. I legit love this movie. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's so silly, but I love it.
It is.
Kevin Costner.
I'm slashing this too, though.
I gotta slash it. Yeah, we know what's coming up. We know we got so many goodies coming up. This is a nice movie, though. If you haven't seen this movie, like do a double feature. Do like To Wong Fu and 3,000 Miles to Graceland in the same weekend or something.
That's actually a really good double feature, actually.
Yeah.
That is a pretty good one. Yeah.
Thanks, Julie.
All right. Next. Ravenous.
Robert Carlyle plays such a good bad guy. Is he the bad guy in this? With his deep voice.
I don't think there's really good guys in this one.
That's a fair point.
What is
Bible
this?
Is the only option.
You haven't seen Ravenous?
This is like a frailty thing, I think. Yeah, no, I've never even heard of.
No,
I never.
No.
Yeah.
Well, like
More
not
like
hearing
the
about it.
Revenant. Closer to the mark.
Well,
You'd like this
I'm
movie,
really.
Ryan.
You
I'm
would
really
definitely
against
like
not
this
seeing it.
movie.
It looks cool. The cover looks cool.
I
The
saw this around the
poster.
same time I saw Brotherhood of the Wolf, and I always talk about that. Like that's that era of movie making that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is
When they
going
put
on
a
the
lot of
list.
time into these scripts and stuff. I'm gonna have to slash it, but I like this movie too.
How many
I'm gonna
slashes?
maybe I'll stash one that has him on the cover. or Arquette. It says and David Arquette, the little and feels like an insult.
He's almost like comic relief in this.
Yep.
Hey, 1-800-collect. I'm gonna slash it. I got to. I'm gonna be fair. I've never seen it. Yes. I mean, I could be a rebel, but no, not this time.
All right. Next. OG Buffy.
I love this movie.
I'm keeping it.
Pee Wee Herman when the death scene.
It's like the best part.
It's the best part of the movie by far. I'm slashing this one too. Even though it's got that amazing David Arquette vampire moment.
So you both have 2 and 2.
I stashed another one? I don't think I stashed another one.
No, you have 2 stashes left and 2 slashes left.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. When did I?
Holy bro.
I don't remember stashing anything else.
Next movie, there it is.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm keeping it. Just for the I had such a crush on the girl from Sliders that's in this movie as the female lead, and it's just ludicrous how hot she is in this movie. I don't even care that I'm saying this on the podcast. Is that her under the spider, actually?
Yeah, yes. I think so.
I don't think you're going to make it, darling. There's a lot behind you. But
middle school.
Shout out to Sliders, by the way.
Yeah, say middle school me just was like fascinated with the huge spiders and thinking, man, I hope these people survive this, and being like, I hope someone like gets killed at the same time, because it's like the spiders come out of nowhere. And it's just they're ravenous, and you're like, there's no hope, but no worry.
And it's nice to see David Arquette in that leading male role too, where he's got to go through the motions. He's got a backstory and a conflict and all that fun stuff. When he's usually the side guy.
Yeah.
Eight-legged freaks. This was fun to watch.
Yeah, this is a fun one. It's not arachnophobia, and I think that tripped some people up initially, but it's fun.
I mean, did they think it was going to be? Arachnophobia is a movie that legitimately made it hard to shower for a while. This is CGI spiders the size of like sedans.
Yeah, yeah. This is more like similar to like the 50s giant insect movies.
Yep, and it works.
Yeah,
I can't wait for us to cover that.
It's a good hang. All right, so I only got one left now.
You both only have 1 stash left and 2 slashes, so let's see where we go.
See where John's evil streak comes in here. There you go, Ryan.
I'm stashing it. I
gotta slash it.
I will rule you. It's just Scott Conn, David Arquette. I might have made a mistake.
I'm not as big into the wrestling stuff too. So Ready to Rumble didn't resonate with me that much. It was one of those like I didn't pay attention while it was on kind of things. And that was back before cell phones.
It also sort of like spawned the strangest David Arquette era, where he's WCW champion.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Like somehow a dying wrestling promotion decided the best way to save it was to make David Arquette your champion.
Oh, let's be real. WCW, I'm going to say it. WCW was trying to revitalize itself because it was failing in the ratings. They hired a former writer from WWF, Vince Russo, who Vince McMahon kind of directed him to like said yes to ideas, no to ideas. And that's why a lot of the ideas at that time, late 90s, early 2000s worked. In WCW, he was just doing anything and everything. And there was no one saying, no one to say no. And this is what we got. David Arquette as a world champion.
It was throwing things at a wall and seeing what stuck. WCW had about a 3 or 4 year period where they almost were able to pass WWE. You know, you had the NWO, and people wanted that, and then they just couldn't sustain.
Real quick, they did. From '96 till I think late '97, early '98, they beat them in the ratings because of the NWO. And then what changed was Austin and Tyson and Michaels at WrestleMania 14. Once Mike Tyson walked through, everyone flipped.
And I mean, they watered down the NWO when everybody in the organization is in the NWO in some way, shape, or form. It's not fun anymore.
That's true. Didn't they? That was all people they stole from the WWF too, like right?
Yep.
Sting, Nash.
No, Sting was not in WWE until after.
But
he was almost everybody else was a WWE cast off.
Yep. Hogan, Nash, Hall.
They're running from Vince, Vince and his empire.
They were either
I don't think there's any real quick when it comes to you and wrestling, Ryan.
No, this is real quick. You'll think this is cool. The gimmick was actually stolen from Japan. It was done in Japan first, and then they saw it and took it to use in America. So
that makes sense.
See, it was quick.
That was quick. You're right. You are right.
Right.
You know those Japanese luchadors, right? It's an old Bushido word, luchador.
El Grande Americano?
Yeah. He speaks perfect Japanese, everybody.
He does, and Mexican.
Perfect.
Perfect Mexican is the best part. Best way to end that a little bit.
Yes. That's our segment of wrestling talk for this week. Next movie. The OG.
Flash.
I have to.
You have to.
I have to.
Yeah.
Well, what did he leave for last though? This is scary actually, because I could be safe and pick Scream. Scream's a great movie. It would have been great if they ended the franchise with Scream.
I don't think you'd be disappointed either way.
I mean, I trust you enough to believe that. All right, I'm gonna slash Scream because I am not a slasher guy through and through. I enjoy them to an extent, but they're not on the podium of my favorite type of horror movies.
I love Scream. I would have stashed it, but ready to rumble.
I can't believe you have Buffy, 8-legged freaks, and Ready to Rumble before you have Scream.
It's so
good.
And
I
bet you use no regrets either.
No, I don't. I love Buffy. I love 8-legged freaks. Like this is like everything on Stars and
I think I'm gonna give him another regret right now with.
Oh, I'm happy as hell right now. I am so happy right now. I forgot he was in this too.
He's one of the production assistants in the radio.
Sandler's probably most proud of this movie. I know it's not one of his Happy Madison productions, but this is probably my favorite early era
movie.
It's one of the best.
Excellent.
Even the soundtrack is cool. Like somehow you have a song from Stuttering John Melendez from the Howard Stern show on this soundtrack that works.
Which is wild. Stuttering John reference.
Yeah.
I just remember the question.
Talk my way out of it.
All right, that was Slasher Stash for the Scream 5 episode, everybody. There's no winners or losers here, but
I don't know.
I'm really happy with how mine turned out.
I feel like you won this one because I got Ryan to cut one of his favorite movies, and I'm always happy when I get one of you guys to do that.
Yeah. It's like half the game. The whole purpose of the game is to torture us. Well done, John. Well done.
But it's also why I think we have to do them 3 and 5, because 4 and 4 in this case wouldn't have been that stressful.
No. I mean, I'm already bald, so it's happening.
Well,
but there is a question I have to ask: is Lemmy God? Is that the question?
Lemmy is God.
Right. There we go.
Yes.
Comments below, viewers.
The simplest answer. If you comment no, then I'm worried about you.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
He'll be in John's prayer circle for the night. If you comment no, he'll put you in his prayer circle. All right, everybody.
My prayers to Lemmy will include you tonight.
Very well done. Well done.
Little ace of spades.
Right.
Chases.
Ace of spades. All right. So what else about this movie do you think bears highlighting? Scream 5.
I think. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, I was going to say the relationship with Dewey and Gale. I mentioned this a couple episodes ago with great romances in horror. Their evolution of the romance, their romanticism, as I would say, kind of concludes in this, but you see it begin in Scream 1, 1996. It, furthers in 98 with Scream 2, 2000 with Scream 3, and then 2011 Scream 4. It's just you see them grow, break up, get together, and it's mimicking real life, even up to this point where it's like they're divorced. And especially when they're talking, I feel like you see a lot of emotion, not only from them as characters, but from them as human beings, as people who loved each other and still love each other, but they agreed to go their separate ways. But I mean, that was one of the biggest highlights, I think. And seeing Sidney come back and being like a passing of the torch, I did like that a lot, even though
that was like part of the bump the movie needed.
Yeah, until you realize she's supposed to be in Scream 6, and there's a contract failure of negotiation, which screws that up. But we'll cover that in the next episode.
Yeah, I guess. Well, there's another reason why this franchise sucks.
Well, they allude to it.
I was a fan of how they did a lot of the lead ups to some of the death scenes. Like Wes's in particular, they give you a whole bunch of like, oh, this is the moment he's going to close the refrigerator and Ghostface is going to be there. He's going to close this door and goes, like they misdirect you almost to the point where you're like, oh, maybe Ghostface isn't going to get Wes. Maybe Ghostface was only going to take out the sheriff.
Yeah.
I love the
but they did that with a couple of scenes. They sort of, and I like the scene in the hospital up until they kill Dewey. I like how they handle, Tara injured, trying to hide in a wheelchair, and Sam getting there just in time with Dewey to save her, and Ghostface is giving her like the real Sophie's choice. Like, I can kill your boyfriend, or I can kill your sister. You choose. And it's like that worked for me.
Choice. Rachel or Harvey. We should reappropriate Sophie's choice. Rachel. Anyway.
And there's a few scenes like that work. I like some of the stuff at the party at the end. I think where they lose me a little bit, aside from Dewey, is the killers are kind of too dorky for me.
Okay.
Like we've already talked about Jack Quaid looking kind of geeky in this role, and Amber, played by Academy Award winner Mikey Madison, is she's fine. She's her acting is fine, but the character is just like you're annoying. You don't come across as Ghostface to me. You're just annoying. So that was my problem. The real problem with this is that the two characters that wind up being Ghostface are not cruel enough to me. And then obviously their motivations.
I mean, the motivation's a repeat of the fourth film, kind of.
Yeah. And the first one. Oh, yeah, no, never mind. Not the first one.
I'd say more the fourth one, because that's what Sidney cousin is trying to do is like spoiler alert in Scream 4, she's trying to kill Sidney so she can be the new survivor and kind of bring back the Stab series, quote unquote, with a new version. And
this is what I have a problem with this franchise. All of the motives for them, except for the first one, which is satire, so it is inherently stupid too, but it's like, okay. All the motives for the Ghostface killers are stupid. They're so dumb. They take me like kind of right out of it. I know that you're supposed to kind of have suspension of disbelief. Aunt Jackie, yeah. She's trying to get back at Roseanne for her anti-MAGA statements or her MAGA statements. Isn't that? I think Aunt Jackie's hyper liberal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
So
I
there's a
think
bit of
she
a
is,
conflict there.
Yeah. And I have a question for you guys. Based on through the whole movie, they refer to Billy Loomis as a serial killer. Was he really a serial killer, or is he more of a spree killer?
Spree.
He's more
serial
spree.
killer is a pattern killer with breaks between slayings.
Yeah,
That's ritualistic.
yeah.
This could be considered ritualistic. Ooh, let's Mindhunters this bitch. So
It can be, but it was more revenge. It was
was
more
he molested
revenge.
by his mother or annoyed by her sufficiently to become a serial killer? That's the real question.
His father left the family because his father was hooking up with Sidney's mom, who was
I never killed anybody, so that
excuse
doesn't
my
count.
language, the town whore.
Mhm.
Yeah, his dad left, and then he hated Sidney for it because his mom was the town bicycle.
Yeah.
Let's think here. I think it's clear cut that it has to be Spree, but I'm sure
I do too. I don't think
argument.
I don't think he's a true serial killer. I think he's a spree killer, which sort of takes
3 or more, right?
it diminishes my one of my favorite lines is, you know, at the end when Sam does some stabbing of her own and she never F with the daughter of a serial killer. Like, I like that line. But it should be spree killer.
But it doesn't
but that's one of those
tongue.
things. That's one of those things where exactly, where you kind of have to give it to her.
Don't mess with a spree killer. What, a shopping spree? Like,
we're gonna give the colloquialism. We're gonna use that on this one.
Yeah, we're gonna use the phrase people know about more, and we're gonna go there.
That's fine. Go there. Great question. That was fun.
That's a good question.
Also, I can sort of give you a little anecdote that came about at the end of watching this, and we can go into another topic briefly if you guys would like. So Allison and I finished watching this Wednesday, like shortly after we had heard about James Van Der Beek passing.
Okay.
And we so afterwards we're sitting there thinking, and I had a memory of him in a Scream movie.
Okay.
I was like, I said, I went looking for it, and I'm like, I can't find it. Was it uncredited? So I asked Allison, hey, do you remember him being in a Scream movie? She's like, she thinks for a minute. She's like, yeah, he was definitely in a Scream movie. He's not in a Scream movie. He's not
at all.
So I think, working it around in my head, I think I attached him to the scene in Jay and Silent Bob.
That's what I'm thinking too.
And then attach Jay and Silent Bob to a Scream movie and just sort of put them into the same movie. So Allison says, wow, we just Mandela affected ourselves.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. The government didn't even need to help this time.
But Bernstein Bears.
Isn't that all the Mandela effect is a group delusion?
It is. It's true. And my major issue with stuff is I make connections very easily, and when one of those is forged incorrectly, it is very hard for me to shake it. Mm-hmm. So I would believe that for like the rest of my life. There's like a Shazam one I think I have.
Mm-hmm.
Sinbad,
really bad one.
Sinbad,
yeah.
That existed. That existed.
Like, not.
I watched it. That was not Shaquille O'Neal.
You saw Shaq as a genie, and you saw Sinbad and some other stuff. That's what you saw. That's what the Mandela. You get it mixed up in your brain, and then you bring it up to somebody else who's gonna. People will generally go along with your memories because they're your memories, and then you impart your memory on somebody else, and now you're creating Mandela effects.
Mm-hmm.
Bernstein Bears.
Bernstein. It was always
that one. I was like not
Bernstein.
Berenstein Bear, or what is the other one? With the one that has marmalade. I wasn't a proper bear person. I slummed it. Not with the British bears. Oh. No, I didn't do Winnie the Pooh. None of the British written stuff. Never did any of those.
Pooh's good. Thomas is good too.
I always like the white trash bears. The what are the ones? The Brother Briar bear, and those ones. They were like the West Virginia bears. The Outback Woods bears. Those are the ones I had.
So they were all cousins and siblings.
Wow. Yes.
And spouses.
Interspecies and all sorts of goodies.
I
hope our listener base isn't from that area. If you're Mothman people, please don't get mad at us.
We love you, West Virginia. You're easy to make fun of.
I do love West Virginia. I do love West Virginia. I worked there many times, and it is way less scary than some other places in this country. Mississippi is the worst state.
What was that? Well, I got a question for you guys because they make a comment in this film, and it got me thinking. Do you see a lot of similarities in the first film as well as with this one, with the original Halloween from '78, as well as Halloween 2 from 1980?
John?
And I mean, like, they mention Halloween, like, with pacing the killer, and I can see that, but with this one, as they mention Halloween, right? And Wes Craven features Halloween in the first film. This one, they're using hospital scenes, right? Which is very most apparent in the second Halloween. And by them mentioning that in this one, and this kind of being not a direct sequel to the first one, but 3 films down, like, I don't know if I'm the only one seeing it. I'm just curious if you guys saw it as well.
I understand when you bring it up. I had not thought of it.
Yeah. I could see how you put those pieces together.
Yeah, there's some parallels. I was nodding when you brought it up because I thought you were going to go to the 2018 Halloween, where it's, revitalized with a younger generation of recognizable actors and
fair.
And it's also quite bad.
2018?
No, I liked it. I like 2/3. I like 2/3 of that Halloween trilogy. 2/3. They didn't stick the landing, but Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills. I love in Halloween Kills that hospital scene, especially with when it was released, just works so well.
And I would recommend the director's cut because the ending is it's much better than the original ending, where I feel like in the theatrical, it just kind of like drops dead. But in that, the director's cut, you get like that face off kind of from a distance between Michael and Jamie as she's doing her own voiceover after he kills basically the whole town.
Mm-hmm. It's so easy. I'm going to keep doing stuff like that to you when I know it's going to rile you up and give us like 8 minutes of content. I'm just going to say stupid shit. I think those were a real breath of Bring Her Back is a pile of garbage, and so are you. So
hey, listen, I sent you a video of these beautiful VHS tapes. I don't know if you even went past the other because there was a beautiful weapon. There was a beautiful weapons one, but it started with Bring Her Back, which I knew was going to get him. But I was like, hopefully he'll go through it. No, did you go through it? Because the weapons one was beautiful.
I did go through it.
Right.
But I still hate you. So I think those Halloween movies, those 2018 Halloween Kills and whatnot, are better because of how bad the Rob Zombie ones were.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
Especially
that one didn't rile them up.
Especially
two. Agree with that. Yeah.
Especially 2.
You don't like Swole Myers?
Well, one I like. 2,
the fridge.
One's okay, but I mean, one has the ongoing Rob Zombie weakness. He can't write women.
Yeah, we talked about this in I think 3 consecutive episodes, by the way, which is funny.
Every time he comes up, that's.
Didn't he do a decent job with the
Dragula? That was about it. That's where it ends.
No,
he did a decent job with Dragula. House of a Thousand Corpses is garbage. The Halloween movies were garbage.
Are you going
the
Lords
radio
of Salem? Lords of Salem. It's better. It's his writing of that female is better, but I think it's only because he's writing it specifically for his wife.
Fair.
The Power of Love.
Which she outshines.
I mean, she outshines as much as she can outshine. I mean, she's also the other big weakness in his movies is he keeps casting her, and she's not very good.
No.
Like, she was okay in Halloween. Baby Firefly, she does a decent job, but I feel like that's including her own personality, minus the killing in that. And he kind of lets her, like, those movies, I feel like he lets them let loose. And of course, you got Bill Moseley leading the pack, so, like, there's a little control there, but I think you got Sid Haig, too.
Yeah. Let's do some reviews and flush this turd.
Absolutely,
We're doing an episode on Halloween now.
This is not a turd.
Before we give you ours, let's see what some other people thought. I actually have 4 this week because most of them are pretty short, and there are a few real winners, such as this 5-star.
Ooh.
Success in 1 hour and 54 minutes with 23 exclamation points.
Wow. You counted them.
I counted them. Do you know how hard it is to count exclamation points?
How are your eyes? How are your eyes straining?
They're not good. R for some sexual references, language throughout, and strong, bloody violence with a lot more than 23 exclamation points and a 1.
This guy loves strong, bloody violence, everybody.
Yeah. He
also needs to take his meds. Who's the next one?
5 stars.
Damn.
It was awesome. Had some kids actors in it, including Cuba Gooding Jr.'s and Dennis Quaid's Soon in it. Love having Oscar-winning actress Mikey Madison as one of the main antagonists. It says Soon.
Wouldn't it be cool if they merged those 2 sons together? Or the 2 kids, together into like one being, super being? Cuba Gooding Quaid.
Listen, that's kind of how that reads.
Yeah, that's
it. Kind of reads that their Soon is cast in this movie.
It's an amalgamation of how can we combine their DNA?
Okay, so now we're on to people who did not like this at all. 1/2 star. With a weak plot and an untalented new cast, this has to be the worst in the series. Sir, you did not see 3.
Yeah.
Should have just made it about the main cast instead of trying to hand the torch to a new final girl who can't act at all. I think that
might work on Monday or Tuesday, but I'm not taking that on Wednesday.
I think the acting in this is fine. It's not.
It's got an Oscar winner. I mean, get bent.
I mean, nobody's like Oscar level performance in this, but nobody's bad enough that untalented.
But Jenna Ortega's got crazy acting chops. Even just Death of a Unicorn, we got to see her flex a little bit and stuff, and she's great.
It's a starting point for a lot of them in this.
Being jerks by ignoring David Arquette right now and things like that. But obviously, all the old cast members, we know what they can do. So
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And one last 1/2 star review. These newer Scream movies are horrible. They have barely any essence of the original trilogy, which was actually a quadrilogy, and don't really do anything to shake up the repetitive and tired formula. There are good moments here and there, but the majority of it is just fluff. The story is beyond contrived, and the characters are painfully uninteresting. Ghostface is the highlight, obviously, but we really don't see much of him. Just feels like a lazy attempt to cash in on the Scream name.
I wrote that review, everybody, just so you know.
I mean, there's some.
I agree with everything he said.
There's some valid points in there, but to end with, you don't see enough of Ghostface in this movie.
You see him. You do see him.
I think you see I think you see as much Ghostface as you ever saw.
Yeah,
I think like Godzilla's not on screen enough and things like that. I get that. That one I'll give you guys, but the rest of it I really vibed with. Yeah, shoddy writing, hollow characters, same old stuff, rehashed plot.
It's the comfortability.
Yeah.
Counting money comfortability.
Sadly, but it brings in the
I mean,
viewers,
and
people
I think
wanted
if you
more.
say there are good moments in a movie, it can't be a half star. A half star movie has to have nothing about it that you like.
Yeah. I don't think I can't give it a half star, but all right. What do you? Or is it our turn?
It is
It's
our
our
turn.
turn.
Usually I like to go last, but I think I'm gonna be that guy to set the
No,
standard.
go first.
Okay.
I want to hear your review.
Two
Okay.
stars. It's 2 stars
2
because
stars.
I just find it painfully unoriginal to continue making these movies. I'm sure Black Phone will end up in the same spot soon and things like that. And I just can't with this. How do you make 7 movies, 8 movies off the freaking Scream franchise? How do you even do that?
You
We're not
make
talking
10.
Phantasm here.
How do you make 10 Jason Voorhees movies?
Exactly. But
Oh,
that
that's
is
excellent.
I don't know why, but I feel like that's okay. Like Leprechaun having as many movies is also okay, but this isn't. And I don't know why. I feel like it's because the first movie was a work of art and they destroy it after doing too many iterations. 2 is more than passable. It's a good movie too. And we already talked about 3 and 4. 5 is good. Of all the ones we've discussed other than 1, 5 is the best. It does all these things well. It gives you that nostalgic feeling. Other than watching 1 over again, I think 5 was my favorite.
Okay.
But it's just I'm so tired of it. That's me. I'm
Mhm.
gonna stop with my curmudgeoniness. So 2 stars.
No,
Fair
No,
bet.
you're fair.
it's fair.
That's
What do you got, Ryan?
4.
Or
The reason why is let me explain. You watch,
or
I'm a big fan. Halloween, I'll wave a flag for, and Scream. I do like Scream. It's a guilty pleasure for some, of course. That I won't rehash like we discussed, but you see the first one, you love it, and the best thing is the second one because 3 and 4 don't hold up. So walking into it, I was like, am I gonna see this? Am I not? And I waited, and I saw it for $5 at Walmart. It was a Blu-ray. I said I'm gonna give it a shot, and it exceeded my expectations. And I was expecting something crappy. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like 4, and it was fresh. You had new characters. There was legacy. The writing could have been better. There could have been moments that could have been better and changed, but it brought it back. And it's what
I feel
the
like there's
film.
something more going on here, Ryan. Where like the taquitos just cooked perfectly while you're watching. Did you get a little lucky maybe in the middle of the movie? Netflix asked you if you were still watching kind of thing?
I
Like
I
something like
really
that happened? I feel like you
I
had a really good day that day
no, I
for this
really
to be a
enjoy
4-star movie.
I really enjoyed it. I did. I feel like
All right, fair enough.
Right. I'm usually the high man here. I'm not the
Yeah,
high
you are
man.
usually the high man.
I'm
wait,
not the
You're
high
not the
man
high
on this
man?
one.
Say it a little
No,
faster, double speed real quick. Ah,
what was your rating?
I'm not the high man.
there it is.
I'm not the high man. I'm gonna
Isn't that a
go
trophy you get for
considering
being good at football?
yeah. Considering I usually go like I go into a movie expecting a 2.5 to 3, and it's based on how it meets or exceeds expectations. I'm gonna go about a 3.5.
Okay.
It's about a C movie
Well,
for me.
your eyes got awfully wide when he said 4. I'm surprised you hit 3.5. I feel like you dragged him up, Ryan.
I was between 3.25 and 3.5. I went. I'll go 3.5.
Listen, I can sell a movie and I can throw a movie to the trash too, but mostly sell a movie. Python, everyone. Python.
Oh boy. Titanoboa versus Mega Croc. 5. All right, John. 3.5.
3.5.
Okay.
It's
Hey, guys.
slightly exceeded my expectations, which admittedly were kind of low.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Well, this is Scream 5, everybody, so I hope you had a good time.
And now we're
listening
getting
to
it.
us. We're
Yeah,
going to hit our top 5s in a second, unless we have any juicy tidbits before we roll into our top 5s.
No, not really. We're going to cover Scream 6 next week, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to New York City for that one. They're going out of California. Oh,
Man.
this more gore.
I don't
Close-up
mind gore.
shots, shotguns.
I don't mind gore.
He's got a shotgun in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Ghostface needs. Second Amendment privileges. Watching him run and fall is half the fun of the movie. Anyway.
Anyway,
All right. You
so
got 2 minutes, Ryan. Go.
top fives are sequels that exceeded my expectations. I went and I haven't
Sick.
I haven't covered any of these. Maybe
Ironic for this episode, but sick.
well, yeah, but this one was hard because I didn't want repeats because I can mention Hellraiser 2. I can
You can
mention
do movies
Halloween
we've
2.
reviewed.
I know, but I want to give it some fresh. There is one
Okay.
movie I am requoting because I do like it, but I'm going to start off with Current's favorite movie franchise.
Perfectly timed. It's almost like I did it. It's almost like I did it myself.
I wasn't going to say Bring Her Back, thank you very much. I was going to say Child Play 2 because it's a sequel that exceeded my expectation because you see the first one, you go through the whole thing, he gets, transfers his soul to a doll, Chucky, played by Brad Dourif, and then you start off with the sequel, them creating a new doll with his blood and its blood, and
It's blood.
he gets reanimated. And watching it as a kid, I was like, okay, this is cool, but like I don't understand why this would make sense. Like I kind of get it, like you have to bring him back. But as I grew older, I have more of a respect for it, and it exceeded because it's like he's still doing what he's
Got
doing.
about 38 seconds for your other 4 movies.
It was a great comeback, and it's a great film. Plus, Don Mancini wrote and directed again, and that leads to my number 4. My next sequel to exceed expectations is Final Destination 2. I the first one, you see it, death is everywhere. So how do you do the second one? How do you exceed the expectations? You have a friggin' log scene that lives with you for the rest of your life when you travel into Conic 84. Anywhere there's a highway. Like
I-10, he could live anywhere, people, not just those 2
Anywhere.
roadways where they intersect,
Anywhere.
but anywhere.
Route 66.
Yeah, there it
Like,
is.
like
Docs.
you see
Docs Ryan.
listen, I got a classic on that. But again, like death is following them and they change it up. There's different scenes that kind of, as a viewer, you're like, oh crap, they're getting creative. But the log scene in the beginning still sticks, which leads to my number 3. How do you exceed a Dracula movie from 1934 with Bela Lugosi? You make a sequel in 1936 called Dracula's Daughter, and it exceeds my expectation. Again, I watched a lot of the Universal horror films as a kid because you see Bela Lugosi, you see Dracula, like this is like the main villain. How can you surpass that? And they do that by creating a villain who doesn't want to be a villain. She tries to burn her father's body after his death to cure her vampirism. And that's the whole thing. Like, she doesn't want to be a vampire and she's succumbing to the bloodlust. And it's also big for that time because it's a first LBGQT movie because she's a lesbian. And that wasn't heard of, that wasn't shown on film, and Universal took the chance and made this film, and it's an underrated classic that I recommend people to watch. Number 2, I'll be quick. It's Son of Frankenstein. It's the 3rd film in the Frankenstein series. Came out in 1939, starring Basil Rathbone as the son of Frankenstein, bringing back the monster, played by Boris Karloff, because of Igor, played by Bela Lugosi. Exceeded expectations because you see the first 2. It's a great, 2 greats, and then you see the 3rd one. You're like, how are they going to do this? And they bring the monster back, and the ending is very memorable because of the castle falling, that simple Universal, and then they do Ghost, but it doesn't hit like Son. And that leads to number 1, Doctor Sleep. Oh, come on, I'm not that bad.
These are really cool, actually. The last 2 are really cool. Doctor Sleep is a cool one, man.
Exceeded expectations because I know how the regular novel ends and how the novel Doctor Sleep is. I was wondering how they were going to kind of tie the book in as well as with Kubrick's vision, which Flanagan does amazingly. And I wasn't expecting it to be good, and it was. And I love the nods to the original, like Kubrick's vision and The Shining, and what Flanagan does with the book and including that. It was just a nice blend. But these are all the sequels that exceeded. Sorry, you know me, I got a lot of passion.
And Mike Flanagan has kind of become the official Stephen King adapter.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Dark Tower, right? He's doing Dark Tower.
It better
Gary.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Gary.
He's got the Mist. He's the official. He's like the official Stephen King adapter at this point.
And that's because he just did one. Well, he's done a few miniseries, but him doing Midnight Mass, I feel, sealed his deal. Because Midnight Mass is basically Salem's Lot.
It is
in a nutshell.
It is definitely another imagining of Salem's Lot. Yeah, it's great. It's great on its own, though. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's just enough. The similarities are there and everything, and we love it. We love the fact that it is what it is, and it is what it isn't, and all that stuff. It's great. Midnight Mass is wonderful.
Go back to top 5 topic that I've done before, but with different movies because it's kind of an endless topic. And it's 5 more Academy Award winners in horror.
Ooh, 5 more. Okay.
5 more. So since we have Mikey Madison, who won Best Actress for Honora in Scream 5, I'm going to go with this. So we're going to start in 1994 with a movie that stars Jack Nicholson, who has won Academy Awards for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Terms of Endearment, and About Schmidt, and Christopher Plummer, who won for Beginners, and it's Wolf.
Nice.
Good movie.
After accidentally hitting a wolf while driving, Will Randall stops to check on the animal when it bites him. He gets some rabies shots, but definitely needed way more vaccinations as the true nature of the beast is revealed.
Bum, bum, bum. That movie's actually, it holds up pretty well, too. I watched Wolf again somewhat recently.
Gotta check it out. I haven't seen it since the 90s.
Yeah.
I watched it.
It had been a while since I've seen it.
It's like Witches of Eastwick.
Yep. So number 4, we're going to just go back to 2019 for a movie that stars, I hope I get the name right. I've been practicing it and I still don't think I've nailed it. It stars Lupita Nyong'o.
No, that's good.
Who won for 12 Years a Slave, and it's Little Monsters. A musician, a school teacher, and a TV personality must come together to protect a group of field-tripping children from a zombie outbreak.
They were tripping.
Yep, field tripping. Like it's this is a fun one. It's like it doesn't do anything significant, but it's a fun diversion. They do a nice job with it. It's funny. It works.
Cool.
My number 3, we're going to go back to 1976. And Bette Davis is in this one. She won Oscars for Jezebel and Dangerous. And it's Burnt Offerings.
Oh, okay.
So Bette Davis and her eyes star in this one. A family moves into an old countryside mansion only to find their new home contains an evil presence that may not let them leave. There's a pretty cool cast in this. A lot of like horror luminaries and cool cult actors and stuff. Definitely a fun watch. Definitely worth it. Number 2 is another twofer. We're going to go to 1995, where we get Ben Kingsley, who won for Gandhi, and Forrest Whitaker, who won for The Last King of Scotland. Coincidentally, 2 biopics. And it's Species.
Great movie.
God, I forgot.
Yep.
Another one that, like, don't let your 12-year-old watch that or you're going to have problems.
Yeah, more than nightmares.
Yep.
Scientists attempt to catch a female alien who is attempting to mate with a male human and breed more monstrous, seductive, sexy aliens. You also get Michelle Williams in this one, was nominated for a bunch of Academy Awards, but has not won. And my number 1 is an actress I know we've all been sort of off the show raving about. And we go to 2009 for this movie. It's Emma Stone, who is won for Poor Things in La La Land, and it's Zombieland.
Zombieland. She's like royalty at this point. When you're looking at her catalog and how it's growing, she's just crushing it.
Yep. I mean, 16 years ago, she's making Zombieland.
Yeah, it's wild. That was 15 years ago. Jesus.
Yep.
I mean, more. It's 17. 2009 is 17 years ago already, yes. So 4 survivors of a zombie apocalypse travel cross country to the promised safe haven of Pacific Palisades Amusement Park. The cast of Zombieland is really, like, I mean, aside from zombies and like little bit roles, it's really 5 actors. And all 5 had Academy Award nominations.
Yeah, they did.
You have Jesse Eisenberg, you have Emma Stone, you have Woody Harrelson, Abigail Breslin, and the Big BM.
Bill
Mr.
Murray.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. God rest his soul.
No, he's still alive.
Nope.
Oh, all right. Not like Tim Curry. Got it.
No, he's still alive too.
Oh, okay. Good. Actually, I'm not even going to joke about Bill Murray because, like, Tim Curry's ill and whatnot, and it could happen, and we'd be like, all right, well, he was sick for a long time. Bill Murray goes, it's going to be a national tragedy.
You see him on Hot Ones recently, real quick?
Yes, it was funny as hell.
They didn't train the gopher. It was just a wild animal.
It sunk its teeth into my flesh through the mesh on my steel links in my glove. Anyway, all right, John. Great top 5s in a time delivered in a timely manner. Might I add? You're a gentleman, sir. Gentleman.
I try to get the crevices and stuff. I'm like putting cement down.
Love a good crevice. All right, everybody, that's going to be Xenomania for tonight. Ryan's like, God damn it. All right, everybody. We'll catch you next time for Scream 6.
Have a good one.
Yeah.